The movement was begun by a scientist who discovered, quite by accident, these signals being sent. Please understand, they are safe as long as they are not discovered.
They want the weapon.
Look out for Charlie.
I want that son of a bitch dead. I want him dead.
There are a lot of people out there that are really interested in the strange sounds heard all over the world. And many of them out there would rather dilute themselves than actually listen to what they are hearing. A lot of times it sounds like an old oven door or metal together, along with somebody blowing into a giant bottle. But if you listen, there are other things there. HAARP does experiments like throwing a bunch of barium into the air and then using HAARP itself to light up that barium, turn it into light. They're doing the same thing. The sky is conductive now, and they're using it to transduce this into sound. That is what they are doing. These are all man-made, and it's not an accident. It's an experiment. But again, people would rather dilute themselves than actually pay attention to what they are hearing. This particular one has 1.4 million views. Let's check out some comments. I would hate to be alone during one of these. My daughter and I were hiking in the woods this weekend and heard the most terrifying sounds coming loud through the trees. It was so scary. I've heard these strange sounds, but never thought I would hear them myself. Terrifying. We're going to get to the proof, so hang in there. I once woke up to one of those sounds after sleepwalking. I found myself in the middle of my neighbor's field. And needless to say, it was one of the eeriest moments of my life. Aliens, dude. That's what they say. Homie, I don't know what to tell you, but that sounds like you were abducted. Really makes you feel how small we actually are in the great scheme of things, compared to just our planet, let alone the universe as a whole. Wow, that's the pseudo-intellectual guy around the campfire at the party that won't leave you alone. Ugh, the world keeps getting scarier and scarier. It's creepy how mechanical it sounds no matter what part of the world it happened in. Funny that you mentioned that, because it is totally mechanical, and let's get to it. So I picked the one in the woods to use because it's so far away from the city. No one can blame it on anything. They're out in the middle of nowhere. Let's check it out. There's your cryptid. We're going to go over the audio, but listen, you can hear a roar. Now, if it was just that without the other sounds, people would totally believe it. Now, did you catch it? There was something after that. Hear that? We're going to get into that. Hear that? So let's get into these strange sounds. Let's listen to that first roar that would sound like a cryptid if it didn't have the high end in there. Well, there's the roar. But after that, there's something there. Let's listen. That's a female voice. And what it says is, don't fall asleep. Let's check out another version of that. Here it is, just boosted up. Don't fall asleep. Now let's listen to another version of that. Don't fall asleep. Here's a third version of that. Don't fall asleep. It's a female. This is man-made. These are experiments. Let's listen to one more version. Now let's go back to the original real quick. Don't fall asleep. So there you go. People would rather dilute themselves than figure out what is going on. Now, I haven't done anything to this original that I'm showing you except boost it up. So let's keep listening. Wait, what's that? It sounds like a woman yelling over a loudspeaker in the distance. And you can hear it almost sound like it starts to go backwards there. Like, this is evil. It sounds like it's saying, this is evil. These are all voices, a bunch of voices making noise. I'm going to show you that. That's a voice too. Sounds like a whisper, a giant whisper. There you go. And it sounds like a loudspeaker again. Same exact voice. So 1.4 million people listen to this and nobody noticed that. 1.4 million people. I haven't done anything to this except boost it up about 6 decibels. And it's the same roar over and over with different frequencies added. And then it sounds literally like an air horn there. Listen to what you're hearing. Please. These are signals being bounced around. If you can turn something into light, you can turn something into audio. It's all vibration. Now, this is a very important part. Let's listen to it without all that high-end noise tricking your ears. Let's check it out. Now, there's some very interesting parts in this. Let's keep going. Another thing you should think about is the Sierra sounds that they heard out in the middle of nowhere back in the 70s. Let's boost that up right there. Let's even do it a little bit more. Out in the middle of nowhere. Now, listen to that. Now, if you adjust those frequencies, it says something special. But before we get to that, remember that U.S. Air Force pilots used to dress as gorillas, not to mess with other pilots, like they are saying, but because psychiatry is weaponized. And when people would see these test pilots in a gorilla suit, they would have to tell the entire story when they were debriefed. So when they said they saw a monkey flying the plane, they would sound nuts. Now, when you listen to that spot with all the noise removed, it sounds like a voice saying, "You're going crazy. You're going crazy." I'll play crazy. You're going crazy. Now here's another version of that. You're going crazy. And here's crazy again. And that is out in the middle of nowhere. When you strip these sounds down to the raw, bare bones stuff that's there, it sounds much different. Let's check it out. That's the cryptid roar. A lot different, huh? That's all garbled communication. That's the "you're going crazy" as a muffled signal. So you need to be careful when you listen to this kind of stuff. What it really is, what it really isn't. The atmosphere has been made conductive now. So when people are listening, they're hearing the big scary sounds, but they're not paying attention to what is in the background of those big scary sounds, like this. These aren't aliens, they're not little green men, they're not ghosts, they're not cryptids. These are tests, and putting sound anywhere you want to is really catching on. When you look at what it really is, it's way more interesting than believing that it's aliens or spooks or cryptids or any of that. It really is. And that's it for now. Look out for Charlie.
That's it for now. Look out for Charlie.
Oh, man. I like this kid. This fucking guy's crazy.
Look out for Charlie.
I want that son of a bitch dead. I want him dead.